As cheap as we possibly can, we are going to build a little coop for the meat birds, and I will show you how to build that. Kind of unfortunate story is that some of these birds that we got, these chickens, are not egg layers. I got one big one here. You'll see 3 other big ones. Look at the size compared to those 2 other ones. Now, I don't know if I've got 2 meat chickens or if I have 4 meat chickens. Time will tell on that, but this is becoming too small to house them. So, as cheap as we possibly can, we are going to build a little coop for the meat birds, and I will show you how to build that. Let me tell you exactly what all we're using here. So, I don't know how much of this I'm going to use, but I've got some dog ear wood fencing. You know, it's about 6 inch by 6 foot by, well, I should say about 1 inch by 6 inch by 6 foot, something like that. And then I also have these spindles down here. These are 36 inches, about 3 feet. Then we also have some netting here, and I got some hardware because we're going to put a door on it. And that's pretty much all the materials you need for this. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is chop these down into size. I am not going to cut these 6 foot because I want a 6 foot long coop. These are going to go kind of on the ends right here, and then we're going to take the other pieces to put them here, and you'll see how it all kind of starts coming together to make this coop. So I just cut these spindles. I cut 4 of them, 30 inches long. I just went with an even 30 inches. And then I have the leftover scrap here, which I will end up using later. So that's 4 of these spindles that are 36 inches long. I cut them at 30, kept the excess. Well, but basically just got my speed square to make sure that this right here is nice and square. I don't think this is gonna work.
Wait, it's on me! It's on me!
I lost my camera person, so let's try this out. Down to 30 inches. Now they're 36 inch spindles, but I wanted to have some excess left over, and I'm going to use that excess later. And if you come in here, you'll see that I made a line. I didn't do any measuring. I just put another dog ear fence right here, made a line. Then I'm going to use this speed square right here to make sure that this is nice and flush. Well, nice and I should say square. And then after that's put on there, and I'm pretty close to that line that I made, it's nice and square. I'll take this bad boy right here. There you go. You say you wanted to help me?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I'll help you.
You want to help me?
Yeah.
Got the sides built here. Got the spindles hooked up, and these will be the sides, and you can go 6 feet and not have to cut the dog ear, but I'm just gonna go 3 feet. I'm gonna cut it in half and put one right here on the end, and then one there down on the end, and same thing on the other end, and you'll see it will make a full box. Now that's why I left that little lip right there. You'll see it all come together here in a sec. I just clamped, got 2 of these together, I should say, and I measured 36 inches into the middle here. Made a straight line, and I'm just going to take my rip saw and go right down there and cut them both at the same time to get both of my end pieces. I did lose my cameraman, so I'm trying to do the best I can here, but I'm basically going to take this, put it right there, and nail it in. I'm gonna do the same thing right here for this side. That'll give me my sides. Okay, so you guys will see right here that I just got these sides nailed in. Again, I'm not trying to be completely perfect with this thing. It's just kind of a temporary chicken coop, really. But I want to make sure I document everything that we're doing back here. We have the whole frame put together here. And it's not exact, we're not doing furniture. It's just a temporary coop or pen, for that rather, for these meat birds that we have. And so I'm going to put a door on the top here. I'm going to put the chicken wire around it, but for the door, because this dogwood actually gives us a little bit more room, it's not exactly 36 inches, so end up being about 37 inches that I measured. So I'm going to split this, and then I have these spindles, just the leftover material from earlier, that I'm going to put right here so we have something to bite into, and that will kind of give us the starter to start building the door on. And after I get done with that, I'll start back and I'll show you when we start putting the door together. I almost forgot to tell you to make sure when you're putting this middle board in that you measure about 36 inches down here and mark it for this spindle. Kind of put it in the middle of this spindle on the other side, and then put your board across. I am following another YouTuber to make this. He made his 6 feet by 6 feet. I'm making mine 3 feet by 6 feet. But I think I'm going to go with my own instinct on how to do this door here. I'll leave a link to the other one below. You watch this one and that one, you should be good to go. I'm trying to think through this door with the hardware that we bought, and I think the best bet is just to attach it like this. I'm going to run another board underneath here, down there, and we'll secure the netting. And then this board up here, I'm actually going to make shy just of that spindle so that it closes all the way. And I'm guessing that's how the door needs to be made. So so I'm thinking through this door here. Like I said, I'm going to put 2 boards down there. They're going to be about 36 inches. So I drew a line right down the middle of this at 36 inches. And I'm going to cut it and now that I got that done, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I can give a little bit more of a visual aid. This is going to sit underneath this, right in here. And this will sit right underneath this, right in here. But this is going to sit back once I am able to get it down in there. I might have to shave it here off, but I don't know. It's going to go, because I don't want it to be too tight, it's going to go right on the other side of this spindle right here. So, all right. So this board is actually going to go down underneath, but I need to make sure that it fits within. So I'm going to make sure this is square, best as I possibly can at least. Then once that's done, I'm going to take this and mark the underside of it. That way I know exactly where to put this board when I'm nailing it on. See, in order to get my hinges on, kind of use my speed square here just to make a line so that I could make sure that when I drill these holes, they're exactly straight like they need to be. There we go. And same thing with this side as well, because you know, I want to make sure it's as square as possible. So I'm gonna do that to this side and do that to that side. You'll see this board is underneath here like this, and then I'm gonna attach that other board right up front here. I actually have it short enough to where it can go on the inside of these spindles instead of behind it like I originally was thinking. And so it will sit nice and flush right on top of here. And then we're going to actually staple around here the chicken wire, and then we'll wrap it in chicken wire, and you'll see it starting to come together. See that the door is finished. Let's redo that, hold on. You can see that this door is finished now. It just kind of goes right on that hinge. It opens up just like that, and it's kind of a snug fit on this side, which I kind of like actually. See that right there? There we go. I'm kind of learning as I go here. I forgot I'm going to put this underneath there, so I'm literally just going to take a pen and mark underneath there, so that I can see where I'm going to put this board at. Probably right about there, and I'll make sure it's level best I can. And you'll see that we're starting now to just staple this here to the door on the back side. So now that we have the poultry netting here on the door, the next step was to put the poultry netting inside, and I'm literally just using a staple gun here and going around rolling it out and stapling it. And then I have these cutters here just to kind of cut where I need to cut it, and that's pretty much as simple as it gets for the inside and the door. The final step was putting this top netting on. I mean, you could put it on the outside, but looks wise we kind of went on the inside here, and then we're kind of threading this piece of wire. We also clipped it and tied it, so that way these two pieces of poultry netting are kind of tied together there. And so there she is right there, kind of the finished product really. I guess it's time to get the birds. Putting a tarp and some rocks down just to kind of give them some shaded area. We got all 6 in here right now, but the 2 little ones, they will come out. He's kind of hidden back in there, that other little one. But yeah, I mean, I just drilled a hole real quick and put some wire through to keep this door closed. You can get fancier with it, but that's about it. Let's try and get a side view here. And I guess that right there will probably be my thumbnail. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and check out my last video where I made those garden beds. So we line this with tarps, and then we put this wood board down to hopefully make it so that raccoons can't dig underneath, and you know, I don't know. You think that's good enough, Taylor?
8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Did you just say 8, 9, 10?
8, 9, 10. Good job.
What do you think, Lauren?
My 9.
That's your Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom.
So,
My mom.
still gonna build a big old coop back there. I want to make a video of that too. Next video is probably going to be us starting the fence. So, that's it.